Yeah, I was just so happy that I was so happy that I got everything ready to go, and I just taxied.
Number 6137, Quebec, I'm having the altitude reporting now. I still don't see the code. 1467.
1467, 617 Quebec, sorry about that.
John Wayne Ground, Skyhawk 53176, taxi, negative run-up.
Number 53176, Roger. Would you like to go to tower run-up, or you'd like to go to the runway?
We'll just taxi to the runway. We did the run-up here in the ramp, Skyhawk 53176.
176, Roger. Watch out for people in the ramp. They get pretty close to airplanes. Runway 20 right, taxi via Bravo Kilo.
Bravo Kilo 20 right, Skyhawk 53176, copy the risk.
Number 6137, Quebec, thank you, contact SoCal departure. The AIM gives guidance that you should squawk the code and altitude while you're on the ground, even before taxi, but I can't necessarily see it when you're at an airport like Long Beach.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Oh, God. I'm like extra glad I didn't take the jet. That was dude. I don't know if ready to go is the right is the right thing, or just so far not ready to go that I didn't matter that I was.
Number 10 Mike Tango, Bakersfield Tower, enter left base, runway 30 right, report turning final.
Left base for 30 right, report turning final.
I'm sweating right now. That is really funny. I looked down at the frequency to like set it for tower to make sure the tower frequency was in there, and it was still on clearance. I didn't even ask to taxi to the run-up. I just went.
San Luis Tower, November 49.
I honestly think. Yeah, no kidding, Jenks. I honestly think if I had done that at the real John Wayne, they probably wouldn't have even said anything. Especially in this plane. They probably would not have. They probably would have made like a joke or something, because they can they can see right there. I never want to find out how they would react, but oh God. Ugh. Okay, we're holding short here at 20 right. We're going to go up to French Valley, and we're going to buzz around. PilotEdge is very busy tonight, so we're going to do a handful of landings, not in any particular order like the lap, but we're just going to bounce around and see where we can go. So, just obviously a very relaxing little scoot around SoCal. Yeah, continue from where? Exactly, Ryan. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Continue. Like, where are you? What are you talking about? Continue. At least you didn't land in a taxiway.
John Wayne, ground steers 358.
I have actually yet to land on the taxiway in the sim. Maybe we have to change that and see what they do.
John Wayne ground
flight, happy little Friday. Uh, 28.1. There we go. John Wayne Tower. Good evening. Skyhawk 53176, holding short 20 right at Kilo.
Number 53176, John Wayne Tower. Good evening. Runway 20 at Kilo, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff 20 right at Kilo. Skyhawk 53176. I do have the Oshkosh.
John Wayne ground steers 358 Charlie Delta, discontinuing flight.
Lights, camera, action.
Number 258 Charlie Delta. The instruction was to squawk normal. That means you are not squawking altitude, or your transponder is not on, and you need to do that on the ground at John Wayne.
Roger. Checking on that. I'll discontinue flight until I get this sorted out. 8 Charlie Delta.
Alright, there is everything's green. Airspeed is alive. She's wanting to fly. Look at that. The majestic 172. Early turnout approved, I think so.
4974 Golf Connect, departure, good day.
Contact departure, 74 Golf, good day.
What's up, Iowa? Iowa, you can't.
176 radar contact.
You can't sneak in here without dropping the beat, dude.
Hey, bird. Whoa, buddy.
Traffic. 5 o'clock. Half mile. 300 feet below.
Number 53176 radar contact. Say altitude.
Unbelievable, Iowa. We're climbing through 600 Skyhawk 53176.
Check 53176. Thanks. Contact SoCal departure. Have a great night, Bill.
Going to SoCal departure, Skyhawk 53176. You too, man. See ya! Yeah, you can't sneak in here like that, Iowa. That's crazy, man. I thought I saw that. Like, is that Iowa? There's no way. You always hear Iowa before you see him.
126.8. See your present speed. Cleared visual approach, runway 27. Clear visual approach 27, present speed. It should run
out. Current Barstool, happy little Friday, man.
November 0 Tango Bravo, roger.
I think it was Touche. SoCal departure, Skyhawk 53176, 1,300 climbing restricted, 3,000.
Skyhawk 53176, SoCal departure, resume on navigation, climb VFR, your discretion.
ONAV and altitude, Skyhawk 53176, thank you. Well, whoever that controller was, obviously wasn't looking out the window of the John Wayne Tower at the time. So we thank him mightily for that.
Cessna 74 Golf, turn left direct San Marcos, resume on navigation.
Really good.
We
were up against the blast wall doing our navigation. That's totally cool. I'm keeping an eye on the Discord here. Put in my bid to get the days off for the flight, dude. That's so cool, man. That is really, really awesome. I appreciate that. I am really excited to just talk about. Like, I mean, we know what's going to happen. Everybody knows what's going to happen once we get to that ramp. Is we're gonna stand on the ramp for about 2 hours until we realize that none of us have had anything to eat and we need to go get some food. We're going to be talking while we get food. We're going to eat the food while we're talking. We're going to go back out to the ramp, and then we're going to talk more about airplanes until it's time to maybe go, and then it's just going to be insane. I can't wait. Has the controller not revealed himself to you yet?
Limber Tower 118.3.
1833 and a front pop.
Let's do 134.
Number 6137 Quebec, contact SoCal approach 135.4.
Will there be a spot landing contest?
125.4, 6137 Quebec.
Roger, verify 135.4.
We might. Yeah, we might have a contest. I don't know. I have to make the NOTAM.
Contacting Point Magoo approach 124.7, 193 Tango Hotel.
I have to make the NOTAM for it, so I don't know if we'll. We might have like something informal, maybe. Yeah, it might be impromptu. Yeah.
So Cessna 6137 Quebec 2500 VFR with Mike for Chino.
River 6137 Quebec, SoCal, roger, advising you have Chino in sight.
No, it's not going to be a legit NOTAM. No, it's going to be like a PDF.
Point Magoo approach, 193 Tango Hotel.
It's going to say, get here by noon. Restaurant's going to be takeout only. And here's where you park.
Request the RNAV runway 7.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to like send anything to the FAA. It'll be a NOTAD, a notice to dudes. Yeah, as if people read the 8 pages of NOTAMs.
4974 Golf LA Center, climb and maintain 900,000.
Can anybody actually even just like create a NOTAM like that?
Number 3 Tango Hotel, did you want to perform the full approach or a vector to funnel will be okay?
a NOTAD.
Vector to the finals.
If you're interested in learning more about this fly-in, including the virtual fly-in that will bookend the actual event, the Discord is the place to go. That's where all the updates for the fly-in will be. It's also on top of fly-in notification board. It happens to be a fantastic community of amazing people, sim pilots, real-world pilots, all the way up to the airline level, instructors, air traffic controllers. So if you're new and you're not in the Discord server, I would love it if you would give it a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. And that is the link.
Number 193 Tango Hotel, one able to direct
we made one for our most recent model rocket launch.
Straight in on everyone.
Dude, that's pretty cool. So NOTAM, but is that different than an actual TFR?
Approach 193 Tango Hotel.
Because wouldn't like a TFR do the same thing? Like if you submitted a TFR for that area,
to the southwest inbound.
NOTAMs can cause TFRs.
6137 Quebec, you're still on the approach frequency.
So you submit the NOTAM, which creates a TFR. You don't submit a TFR that creates a NOTAM.
Currently heading 13 acres.
All TFRs are created from a NOTAM, but not all NOTAMs are created by...
So you've been told to expect the visual approach. Haven't made any other requests. So to go direct to Sager without a clearance.
What's up, Peanut?
A definite and clear pilot deviation. So do you want to fly the Atlas approach still? Same intentions.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. We were looking to pick up the ILS.
Yeah, you submit a NOTAM, and that advises ATC and others.
Cleared ILS runway 20 right approach. However, I won't be unable to issue a passing grade for the I-6 rating. You need to be sure to make that request prior to crossing Seal Beach. If the approach controller assigns you a different approach, then you need to fly for the rating or something like that. It's your responsibility to make sure you make that request in time.
Roger that. We'll keep that in mind. And clear direct to Sager for the ILS 20 right.
Seal Beach is an airport, yeah. There is an airport there, it's military, but it is more commonly used as a VOR. It's a very common VOR with a lot of IFR clearances in and out of John Wayne. But it is an actual airport. It's just not. It's
SoCal approach.
When it's referred to, it's almost always the
9,500. Number 364 Romeo Mike, SoCal approach, Palm Springs altimeter 2971.
2907.
I'll hopefully be doing a PNR approach at Seal Beach at some point. Why are we on the menu screen? Let's go into. Let's get that going there. Or no, not PNR. The PAR. Yeah, PAR is what I meant, not PNR. Yeah, the PAR approach. Yeah. PNR. Acronym approach. One of the acronyms in aviation. Who knows? Let's keep playing with this. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video of a glider pilot who suddenly decides on spot to do some aerobatics for everyone at an air show. He violates multiple FAA regs, and he posts a video of the flight's big legal battle, ends up losing to the FAA at the end. He's still crying about it. I heard about it, but I never saw the actual video. But I did hear about it.
Skyhawk 176, contact SoCal approach 135.4.
35-4, Skyhawk 53176. SoCal approach, hello, Skyhawk, 53176, 4,400 climbing 5,000.
Skyhawk 53176, SoCal approach, Roger, good evening.
Pull up.
I promise you,
193, take a hotel,
Brandon
contact Oxford Tower,
is loving this.
134.905.
Expendable 172, thank you very much for following. What's happening? What up, dude? Happy little Friday.
Speedbird 193, contact LA Center 126.35.
Is that glider, I'm sure they pulled it down, but is there like a re-upload of it? I would love to check it out. We'll put it in waypoint 70 French Valley.
Speedbird 193, LA Center, Los Angeles altimeter 2989er.
Yeah, I do want to see that video. So the air boss at the show actually asked him to do it, or like radioed him and said, "Hey, you wanna do some aerobatics for the show, for the crowd?" He didn't just do it on his own. That's really weird. It's obviously his fault as PIC for not knowing the air show regs, but the air boss was a contributing factor for sure. Oh, that's really weird. That's really weird. I mean, okay, I can see if I was flying around right now and over the radio someone like at Skylark said, "Hey, Skyhawk, coming over the mountains. We've got an air show right now. We've got a little bit of a lull. Do you want to do a couple passes?" I would stop and think about it and be like, "Yeah, I do a couple low." Like, yeah, like what? Who would it harm if you just do a couple of low passes and bug out of there? If the showrunner is asking you, if you want to do that, aerobatics would be a no-go. But I ultimately, without even thinking about the regulations of it, that would be so crazy. So what is the pretty sure the regs also require you to wear a parachute if you do aerobatics. Well, yeah, if you do aerobatics, you need a parachute for sure. But even entering the air show airspace is probably even maybe more of the issue than the aerobatic stuff. I feel like the FAA would be more pissed you going into the TFR or being a part of that rather than the aerobatics, would be my guess. I don't know, because the aerobatic thing, you can do that on your own, no one can see it, and I mean, I've never done it, but obviously there are pilots in a non-aerobatic plane without the proper training that have gone upside down or gone past 60 degrees. The problem is he violated 91.303 because he wasn't covered under the waiver for the air show. So that's kind of what I was thinking, is that the act of being in the airspace of the air show is more of the violation than the actual aerobatic part. Because again, the assumption is that the aerobatic stuff happens all the time, not meaning that it's not also that is not important to follow that regulation, but the rarer, I would imagine, and probably more hazardous, I guess, regulation to break would be entering that airspace without being on the waiver. And mainly, and especially, 10 Cent Tacos, happy little Friday, thank you for following. And I would imagine that, especially in a glider, the hazard there is not is more for the spectators on the ground. As you're flying over congregated audience in a glider, you know, that's dangerous. You know, obviously, I mean the hazardous of, you know, doing the aerobatics, just an all around really bad.
193, contact SoCal approach 132.37.
Was that for 53176? No. Okay, aerobatic flight over people in any aircraft. Okay. At 2 a.m. bars, they do.
SoCal approach, good afternoon, good evening. Speedbird 193 heavy to flight level 2, tree descending on the Angel 4.
Speedbird 193 heavy, SoCal approach, verify you have information, hotel.
We have hotel, Speedbird 193.
Speedbird 193 heavy, cleared visual approach.
All the buses are closed at midnight now because of the Rona.
Third left approach, Speedbird 193.
SoCal approach, Skyhawk 53176. We have French Valley in sight.
Skyhawk 53176, radar service terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Squawk and VFR, frequency change approved. Skyhawk 53176. We'll talk to you soon.
Roger, Tango, Roger.
Don't get too excited, Brandon. Yeah, it'll definitely get better. French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 53176, 5 miles to the west. We're gonna cross over the field, enter a left downwind for runway 18, French Valley. Expendable. Yes, this is PilotEdge.
French Valley traffic.
And flight, I agree. Yeah, we're gonna have to. The after party
left traffic, French Valley.
will have to be elsewhere. Well, also, I want to be full stop somewhere too, or want to / need to be full stop. So.
French Valley traffic. Skyhawk 5 Rome Juliet, 15 miles north. RNAV 18, French Valley.
Okay. All right, we got a guy in the RNAV. And that traffic on the RNAV at French Valley, what type aircraft are you?
Skyhawk 170.
Okay, got it. We're a Skyhawk as well. We're about 3 miles to the west. We'll land just ahead of you. We probably got enough spacing.
For sure, 5 Rome Juliet, thanks. You forgot about me, Bill.
Where are you at?
Taking off 18, sir. You should have been listening instead of chatting with chat.
Looks like we have that departing traffic in sight. French Valley traffic.
Yo, all traffic in the area, please advise.
No, this is the Rep Pack 172, Carl. Yeah, this is the default plane with the Rep Pack. Ryan, are you in the Bonanza?
No, I'm in a RV. I'm about left crosswind 18.
Nice. Okay, yeah, we got you inside. Yeah, this is the Rep Pack, and I went with this just because, you know, I have not flown the Airfoil Labs 172, but everything that I heard about the Airfoil Labs was that it was a little bit on the glitchy side, and SimCoders is more frequent with the updates. So I went with the Rep Pack. It was a little bit disappointing at first due to the lack of visual upgrades, but
French Valley traffic.
It works great.
RV 618 Echo Romeo left downwind 18, French Valley.
And then RV in the traffic pattern, we're just crossing over the field right now. We have you in sight. We'll pull in just behind you, French Valley traffic. When are they going to release the Oshkosh aircraft list? They're working on the NOTAM right now. It's pretty close.
Traffic.
They also have, dude. Wait till you guys see the CSL pack. Holy crap! It's going to be so awesome.
French Valley traffic.
Yeah, the Sim Coders one finds a little bit better.
North,
it's just
RNAV 18 French Valley.
It is so bad with flaps in. There's like no drag whatsoever. French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 53176, turning left downwind 18 French Valley. I really hope this isn't going to be a huge cluster.
Pull up.
It's going to be a clusterfuck, yeah. Cutting it down to the wire.
Romeo,
yeah, it's going to be worth it though.
18 French Valley.
It's going to be worth it for sure. Frick, Moto Guy, thank you. Moto Guy, did you just follow? Moto Flight Guy. Moto Guy, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking the best thing about the Oshkosh event is the resulting CSLs. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the follow. And yeah, the CSLs are awesome. I got a little sneak peek at the...
French Valley traffic, RB to Romeo, final 18.
We are getting so many Piper CSLs, it's insane. Holy crap. It's going to be awesome. Where's that RV? There's the RV. French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 53176, turning left base, runway 18, French Valley. Yeah, Kevin's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, Keith has been working really hard on the CSLs, and they're awesome. French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 53176, turning final 18 behind the RV. We got you in sight, French Valley. Bonanza will be on the list, yeah. Yeah, Bonanza will definitely be on the list. I still keep forgetting to ask which Bonanza. They probably will have more than one, is my guess, but I keep forgetting to ask. Who's he showing up as? 172.
500.
French Valley traffic, Echo Romeo clear of 18 French Valley.
Uh-oh. I still see an airplane on the runway. Might have to report that to the FAA.
NASA report.
I seem a bit low? Dude, I seem high. I'm high and fast. And by the way, I've been idle almost the entire time after being on left base.
French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 5 Juliet, 2 mile final, runway 18. Executing a missed, 5 Juliet, correction, French Valley.
French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 53176, clear 18, taxi back, French Valley. Old man, what's up? Heard you when you flying the Cat. Or you were on the Cat 5 and you heard my Sia, right? I love that. It's very pretty flying out here. Yeah.
Pull up.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Pull up.
Well, Ryan, you can do Lewis Alexander 23. Thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. Ryan, if you set, you'd have to know what the CSL pack has and then set it to something. it's still, if it doesn't know what you are, it'll still default to the 172. So if you put in like Piper or what was the other low wing that they had? I can't remember. Frick, what was the other? Yeah, I don't think there were too many low wings. Oh, the Cirrus. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So if you change your no, it wasn't a Mooney. No, it was the Cirrus. It was we've got a Piper Cherokee and a Cirrus that are in the Oshkosh tester packet. The full pack will have
French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 5 on Juliet.
Everything.
Missed approach runway 18, French Valley.
So it'll still default, if it's something small, it'll still default to, a 172. But yeah. Good fixins, what's up? Okay, so for you new guys, this is the Discord link. It's a fantastic community. We've been talking about the real world flying. JCar13, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. We've been talking about the real world 4LE, the first annual 4LE fly-in. It's a real world fly-in. We will be doing virtual versions before and after the real one, but all that information will be on the Discord. But just in itself, the Discord is an amazing community. This is the link to it. So if you have Discord, would love to have you.
Buddy.
PFFFFT.
PFFFFT. Ring Police, thank you so much for 8 months. I really appreciate it, man. Cheers. Happy little Friday. That guy landed, right? Did he go missed? French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 53176, departing runway 18 to the north, French Valley.
He went missed still.
He was out of here a while ago.
Entered runway 18, 5,900 feet remaining.
French Valley traffic, Skyhawk 5 on Juliet on a right downwind, runway 18, executing the mist, French Valley.
We're going to go to 122.75. That's our next one. The scenery that I have, the mesh is a little bit wonky due to Fallbrook. Fallbrook scenery is much, much better than the default scenery, thanks to Raven Black. Yeah, well, I've got the 750, not the 650 on there, but Ryan, I'm actually going to go to Paris and then down to Fallbrook. So yeah, I'm going to Lima 65. Little Paris guy. I might look at the G5, but I don't. The Cessna that I fly has a 375 and a GI 275. So having the G5, having one G5 would actually be pretty similar. Like at least more so than this to the real plane, but just the 750. Has been fine as well. Disco Sweat, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily excited. I'm very interested to see what Flight Sim 2020 ends up being. I hope it's good, but I think I have a healthy skepticism for it. I think Tom Cruise did a parachute jump out of Paris for a video. Paris is a weird one. Julie and I were just out there a couple months ago, and it is a weird one for sure. That's definitely a weird one. French light traffic, Skyhawk 53176, left downwind, runway 18 departing to the north, French Valley.
Hey,
all right, Motorflight, have a good one.
RV618 Echo Romeo, taking off 18, departure to the south, French Valley.
Fokker 70, welcome. Thank you so much for 3 months. That is awesome. Yeah, the live stuff's pretty good, Jeff. But I appreciate it, man. Welcome to live. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, welcome, Jeff. I'm gonna have a video for you pretty soon. It's a bit late on the East Coast. Yeah, I'm gonna have one for you soon, Jeff. On the 4th of July flight, I finally got together the just the cockpit audio. So I'll have that up. I'll post that up on the Patreon tonight. It's already outputted, so it's just the raw footage of the full flight, but I have to go through it and really check what I want to pull out of it. But it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny, so you can kind of poke around that a little bit if you want. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Chicago O'Hare is pretty fun in the sim. Obviously, I've never been in there in the real world, but did a VAT sim FNO actually in a 172 and did it. It was pretty funny.
Hey, bird.
Oh man,
buddy.
Jeff, thank you so much for 5 gifted subs. Drew, the Flying Rooster, Shane, Fen, Albers, and El Tonke.
Buddy.
Fokker 70. Jeff, thank you so much, man, for the gifted subs. That is super nice of you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, bird. Whoa, buddy.
That's awesome, dude. Welcome, you guys. Enjoy all of the audio cues below if you scroll down.
Whoa, buddy.
Let's see. We're about 8 miles. We could probably switch
Hey, bird.
it over.
Whoa, buddy.
Paris traffic, Skyhawk 53176, 8 miles to the south. We're going to enter a left downwind. Runway 15, touch and go, Paris. Feel like you don't mind if I call you Jeff, but Fokker is pretty funny. Fokker, thank you so much for the gifted subs. That's awesome. All of these SoCal airports are so 172 friendly. Dude, SoCal is just GA friendly in general. LAX being probably the one real exception, and even LAX, if you do it at the right time, is fine. But yeah, it's pretty amazing how GA friendly the region is, which is why it's so much fun to fly here, because you can kind of just go wherever you want. We're in the middle right now of planning the next flight, and I've got some options that we're kind of thinking about. I want to do like a big IFR time building flight. So we're probably gonna go up to like central, like north semi-central California, Watsonville, for some pizza, and just try to do some like actual really long flights and just get some chunks of flight time out of the way for the IFR stuff. It's, and I've been taking it in small chunks just for like the month-to-month expenses of it. But I'm just, the more you do that, the more kind of like 0.25 at either end you get of just, you know, the taxiing and stuff. Whereas, you know, just being up in the air for longer, you know, it's more of an expense right away, but you kind of save on having to taxi, I guess. What's up, Dave? How's it going, man? Happy little Friday. Paris traffic, Skyhawk 53176, midfield, left downwind, runway 15. Will be touch and go departing to the south, French Valley. So this is kind of the downside to the rep pack. Is right now I'm pretty far out for a pattern. I'm gonna go full idle. So here's the throttle, full idle, and I'm gonna get all the way down without having to really worry too much. Paris traffic, Skyhawk, left base, runway 15, touch and go straight out to Paris. The instrument stuff is great. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been under the hood, but that will change here pretty soon. You know, with the 4th of July holiday, there's a couple other things that got in the way, but it's been fun. I've been at least been flying, just not really anything that counts necessarily towards the IFR stuff, except for one cross country. But it's a long way to actually get those hours in. You know, it's a lot of hours that you have to start lining up. Jay Gillen, have you ever flown to Tahoe? No, I have not been up that far north. The furthest north that I've been is San Luis Obispo. Paris traffic, Skyhawk 53176, final 15, departing straight out to 500 Paris. So again, I was full idle on a wide downwind, and I am still doing 75. That's like letting the nose just kind of sink, but at the same time, we should be slowing down a little bit more than that with full flaps out. So that is a bit of a bummer. There's just really not any drag. You still end up landing halfway down the runway. Yeah, this is a pretty grimy airport. It's just like hot and dusty out here, but it's interesting. Yeah, San Luis Obispo is awesome. It's fun in real life too. The approach into there is really fun in real life too. Watsonville and Montgomery is known for IMC conditions. Yeah, I know, dude. Getting some actual going into Watsonville would be really fun. What airport is this? Paris. Yeah, El Tanque, that's Paris. Yeah, it's Lima 65. And now we're going to go to Fallbrook. What did I say? Did I not say Monterey? Did I say Montgomery by accident? I did say Montgomery, didn't I? Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I was picturing Monterey. I said Montgomery. Yeah, I was picturing Monterey, but yeah, yeah, getting IMC into either of those, and Monterey is actually, it's significantly shorter than Watsonville and would be awesome to fly to. So, you know, to like make it a little bit less expensive in one shot, might do Monterey. Even, I mean, just flying to Monterey would be incredible. But that is a pretty long flight in a 172. So that's, yeah. Which is a double-edged sword. Obviously, you want a really long flight. You want a cheap, really long flight. That's kind of the whole point. But it's a really long flight in a 172 as well. Second fly-in, Monterey during Car Week. Dude, every time I've been to Car Week, I have just said, I want to fly here so bad. Yeah. If you are even moderately interested in cars and have any means to get yourself to Monterey during Car Week, holy ever-loving crap. It's unbelievable. Captain Hall, happy little Friday, man. All the Gulfstreams through the parking.
Holy S, dude.
It's such a holy S, it's not even funny. It's not even funny, dude. Oh, man. Koenigsegg's? Koenigsegg's are pretty cool. Yeah, we don't want to go down that. We don't want to go down that road. It'll be never ending. Yeah, Laguna Seca. Yeah, that's kind of where I would spend my time at Car Week. Would be Laguna Seca primarily, and then a handful of the auctions. Cannery Row is cool. Nick Magoo, welcome aboard. Thank you for following. Happy little Friday. Yeah, Cannery Road is a bit of an onslaught. I don't really like that whole scene, but the auctions are very cool. Yeah. You bought a house instead. It's a much better investment. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I love the race cars. That's kind of the world that I was in primarily, was the race car stuff. So being able to see those cars actually on track, driven in anger, was pretty amazing. But we had some fun at the auctions for sure. JZ Awesome, thank you so much, dude. I got so drunk at the Gooding auction. Like, fuck, dude, how many? It was really, like, got really hammered. Some auctions. May have egged on a friend to bid continually on a car. Man, I know I've got like a pretty funny picture from that. But yeah, I have been very, very lucky to have far too much fun at Car Week. Those auctions are pretty insane too. If you can get that, would like the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. I never got a chance to go to that. But the auctions, if you can get into one of those auctions for an evening, it's like one of the good ones too. Like RM or Gooding, those are like the two. Russo and Steel is okay. It's a little bit but the RM and Gooding are really, really good. Damn, do I not have any like good shots? Well, Nick, awesome, man. I really appreciate that. I have 1,500 hours as flight crew, if that counts for anything. It sure does, man. That's really cool. I appreciate you stopping by. New CE7, thank you very much for following as well. Welcome aboard. Yeah, let's see where. I know I've got like a really, like, holy crap, we're at We're in an auction, just getting completely smoked. This is the badge of a car that was outside of, just parked outside. Okay, this will give you an idea of how insane Car Week is. This was parked outside. And then down, parked also outside. I don't know. We'll see if anyone is a real car nerd knows what this is. Yeah, just sitting outside of one of the venues was just ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. Yeah, this was RM. Just, oh, that's super blurry. But yeah, that's an F1. It's unbelievable. It kind of ruins you. It's just like, that was a CLK GTR. Yeah. Yes, Arnold, I did see that crash, and that Gambala thing is so ugly, I think. Yeah, it's super ugly. Doesn't make it any less sad that someone would crash their car, but yeah, it was pretty ugly. I saw, like, I have a very short list of, like, cars that make, like, the hair stand up on end, and I saw every one of them at Car Week. And it's just kind of like, all right, well, there they are. Okay, just moving on. Oh, there's another one. Like, my favorite car of all time, I went into, I think it was the second time that I went to Car Week. I was like, okay, my goal for this week is to see this car. And the first day, I saw four of them. And it was, it's like just all-time favorite cars, super rare, expensive, blah, blah, blah. Saw four of them the first day that we were there. And it was just, you're just kind of like, well, fuck, all right. Because I think we all, if you're into cars, you kind of, like, the car spotting, hey, I saw a blank today, is fun for us. It's different than plane spotting, I think, because of the spontaneous nature of it. So there's a little bit more, I mean, you could, if you have a favorite plane, you can kind of see if one's coming in and go see it, on Flight Radar or something. Cars, you can't do that with. So if you see a car in the wild, it's a little bit cooler, I think, than an airplane to some extent. But yeah, you just like, okay, well, there's four of my favorite car ever. So what else am I going to do this week? Ugliest car to me is the Jeep truck. Yeah, it's not, the proportions are not great. I'm with you on that a little bit, but Fallbrook traffic, Skyhawk 53176, 10 miles to the northeast, inbound French Valley. Or Fallbrook, whatever.
Whatever, dude. Do whatever you want. You're Bill.
Direct to, there we go. Runway 18, that's right. It's the same as French Valley. Do I ever do any East Coast flying? That's a good question. I will generally almost always fly on PilotEdge, which only covers the West Coast. So I don't really fly on the East Coast, hardly at all. That doesn't mean that I won't ever. I haven't had the time to really get VATSIM up and going. I would like to fly out there. So once I get, just once I get that set up, I probably will. But yeah, I really haven't lately.
Over traffic, you hear me?
Yeah, 5x5. Where's PBI, Ring Police? Yeah, I will. I just have to get my VATSIM just will not work. I cannot get VATSIM to work. Nick, so PilotEdge is an online air traffic control network. So the other voices that you hear are actually other pilots that are logged into the network. I will pick up flight following and talk to somebody acting as air traffic control, which covers en route, approach control as you're flying in between locations, and also tower frequencies and ground and stuff. So it's a online multiplayer basically with air traffic control on it. So Fallbrook traffic, Skyhawk 53176, 5 miles to the northeast. Touch and go 18 Fallbrook. Yeah, Nick, it's very neat. They do an unbelievable job at replicating real world procedures. I'm actually going to check. We haven't, other than our friends here, we haven't really run into much traffic. Let's see where everyone's kind of congregating. Maybe we can go run into some people. There's a couple of planes at John Wayne. We could also go up the coast. Yeah, let's go up the coast. Let's do a Bravo transition maybe and land up in LA or something. Still blows my mind why these guys are doing ATC for fun. It looks so stressful on some of the streams I watch. Oh, it shouldn't be stressful. I mean, I find it immensely fun for sure. Will there be a DJ at the fly-in? Yeah, I can bring my turntables and just rip around. Nick, I don't really have a great picture of it, but I can. If you wanna join the Discord server. Oh, you're talking about the controllers themselves. Yeah, PilotEdge gets paid. VATSIM is probably what you're referring to that you've seen, and that's just for the love of the game. And why some of them rage quit too. Yeah, it's about that. Yeah, it's like it's $19 for one of the coverage areas. Yeah. If you use it in a particular way though, besides sim immersion, if you're actually a real world pilot, that's where it really, that's kind of what they cater to really. That's the president of the company, that's what he loves the most, is being able to help out real world pilots. It's the connection to the real world. There's always one foot in the real world with PilotEdge, which makes it great for somebody like me that's used it to go from
runway 18
nothing to
500
private pilot. In the sim only world is where it's the value might not fully be there for some people that are just looking to goof around or get some immersion or role play airliners or stuff like that, because it has a level of seriousness to it. Fallback traffic, Skyhawk 53176, short final 18, touch and go departing to the north.
Gotcha, the finder.
Pull up. Pull up.
Who is it? White Fang, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard.
Traffic.
Yeah, this scenery that Raven did is infinitely better than what you get default wise. This is such a cool runway to come into. And of course, we'll do the usual. We're gonna have to full stop taxi back. Fallbrook traffic, Skyhawk. We're gonna full stop taxi back 18 Fallbrook.
That's embarrassing.
Dude, I forgot to pull the power out 8 miles out in this rep pack thing. Okay, let's do... Yeah, so the default scenery on this airport is really flat. And the actual airport, part of what makes this runway really cool is the elevation. It's kind of up on a mesa. It has a really steep approach. There's like almost a sheer cliff face at the approach end of 18, and then it drops off pretty steeply on the departure end of 18. And then also the actual airport itself here, the hangars and everything is down. The taxi dips below the runway, which it really doesn't do. It's a little bit too close to replicate that in the sim, but the runway is in the real world is actually higher than this taxiway is. So it kind of has like a feel, if you've flown in the sim to Catalina, it's got a very similar feel
Approaching
to that,
runway 18.
the way that the runway is set up, and it's super fun. Fallback traffic, Skyhawk 53176, departing runway 18 to the north, Fallbrook. Speed is alive. Everything's in green.
Soup.
There goes Ryan. Soup. Behave with our noise abatement procedures here. Let's see. Blah blah blah. I am headed now, Drew, to. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna do probably the coastal route northbound, and maybe end up at Burbank. Maybe we go to Burbank. Whatever you do, do not turn north.
It's 8-9 good to go. 15 miles north and bound to stop.
Alright, the water tank is where we can turn. Where's that at? Whoop! Outside of the water tank. Or I should say inside. We have to be outside. And there we go. Okay. That's better. Alright. Bakersfield is a bit of a hike for us right now. It's a bit of a hike. Okay. I want to become a VATSIM supervisor, but their applications are quite difficult. Let her rip, man. Get the application in.
Hey, Bill, headed back to French Valley?
No, I'm going to head, I think, to Burbank via coastal route.
Got it. See you there.
Yeah, let's do Burbank. Say we have a new Discord member, Jay Gillen 99. Thank you so much for joining the Discord. Welcome. Actually, whatever you do, don't turn west. Yeah, we're right up against nice and toasty warm restricted area for Camp Pendleton. I use for flight planning ForeFlight, and we can consult Mr. ForeFlight. There it goes. We can consult Mr. ForeFlight here in a minute once we get up on the autopilot. Pull up on the iPad. Yeah, it's on an iPad. And we want to go up to 6,500. 6,500 is what we're climbing to. I think we could probably just do autopilot for that as well. Holy crap, alright. What's up with the rudder, man? Let's do a Vegas run. I am not opposed to a Vegas run in the simulator at all. I would welcome the challenge, but that has to be from the beginning. That's not an impromptu after 2 hours of streaming with no dinner. And with an empty glass of scotch. So why am I like so out of trim with the rudder here? You were talking about IFR tons over here on the... You're talking about IFR tons over here on the island. Not sure what you mean by that. Oh, you mean IRL? Oh, yeah. That is definitely on the list, for sure. Julia, on a scale of 1 to a lot, how down are you to fly ourselves to Vegas? Piper. So from 1 to a lot, it's about an 8. What about the Bonanza? That'd be like a 12. Yeah. All right. So consensus is flying ourselves to Vegas on a scale of 1 to a lot. In the Piper, Julia says 8, and for the Bonanza, it'd be a 12. So, I am totally down for that. I still want to fly to Palm Springs. That's once it is not literally hotter than the surface of the sun. I want to fly out to Palm Springs. That would be awesome. Okay, still on our way up. Be worse if you had the humidity we have in Missouri. Yeah, I mean it's hot is hot, but yeah, humidity definitely changes it up quite a bit. Yeah, Palm Springs has been ridiculous. It was like Yeah, I was like 118 last week. That's a big no. I only have 8 hours on. I have 8 hours. That's a lot. I need help setting it up, man. I would fly on VATSIM if I had help setting it up. I would actually do it. I've made attempts to do it like 3 or 4 times, and it just keeps getting screwed up. I'm surprised that I have that much time on it, actually. Bailey187, thank you very much for joining the Discord. Welcome to the Discord community. I hope you enjoy it. There is the link if anyone else would care to join the Discord community. Xpilot is what I actually did download. I had X Squawk Box, and it was just I don't know what the hell was happening, but I can't seem to get the audio to work. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just all messed up. I don't know. Vegas is VMC like every day, but can get bumpy midday. Silky smooth in the morning. Yeah, it would for sure be in the morning. Absolutely. Try running Xpilot as an admin. Okay. Yeah, Ring Police, you can DM me. Yeah. Yeah, I just gotta. I don't really spend that much time outside of the streams messing around with the sim. So if something's not working quickly, I tend to abandon it and just stream what I know works, and therefore have not gotten that to work.
Maintain 4,000.
Send maintain 4,000. 7 Charlie Mike.
Skag 48 Alpha Foxtrot. I'm sorry. Say again your destination.
Direct to Palomar 8 Foxtrot.
So let's get this thing going.
SoCal approach, is the restricted area north of Palomar hot or cold tonight?
Skag 48 Alpha Foxtrot. It is cold.
Roger that. 48 Foxtrot.
Okay, you're going to Burbank, so we're gonna get that in there, and then we're gonna do LAX. LAX in there. I'm going to zoom in here, go to the TAC chart, and there is the LAX 123 radial right there. That in there. And then we have the LAX 323. LAX 323. And there. And 13.6. Oh, shite. Uh, 113.6. I'm gonna pick up some speed here.
Yeah, above,
I've been getting back into VATSIM, working on getting my controller rating and practicing VFR stuff with the Traycon or Center when they're on. Nice, Alexander.
Yankees,
Yeah, that's cool, man.
rate of contact, climb, maintain 6,000.
Climb to 6,000, 4 Victor Yankee.
It's super cool.
Mike,
I mean, having
approach,
ATC on there is awesome.
12055, 7 Charlie Mike.
Number 737 Delta Delta, contact SoCal approach 134.9er. 134.9er, 7 Delta Delta.
Come down 6,500.
Santa Barbara approach, here's Jet 77 Charlie Mike is at 4,000, requesting the VOR25.
Number 77 Charlie Mike, Santa Barbara approach, Santa Barbara altimeter 29900, cross Quang at or above 3,000, clear the VOR, runway 25 approach.
Cross Krang at or above 3,000 and clear for the VOR25, 7 Charlie Mike.
approach 737 Delta Delta, level 4000, direct bomber.
Number 737 Delta Delta, SoCal approach, Los Angeles altimeter 2990.
2990, 7 Delta Delta.
SoCal approach, good evening, Skyhawk 53176, 6,515 to the southeast of El Toro VOR with request.
Sky 53176, SoCal, go ahead, request.
We'd like flight following to Burbank Airport at 6,500 via the coastal route northbound, Skyhawk 53176.
Sky 53176, squawk 5155, remain outside Bravo airspace until advised. The John Wayne altimeter 2990.
5155 will remain outside of the Bravo, Skyhawk 53176. What was the altimeter again for John Wayne?
John Wayne altimeter 2990.
2990, Skyhawk 53176. Sweet. Piece of cake. Alright, so the coastal route, is that big enough? Is that large enough for you guys? It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. I have like different screens here. So if I go to documents here,
3176, radar contact, proceed as requested. I'll have a Bravo clearance as you get closer.
Roger that. We'll proceed as requested. We'll look for the clearance, Skyhawk 53176. So we're going to go into documents here, and I have the LAX tax supplement, which is right here, Los Angeles tax supplement, and I have the full coastal route here. So it's at 6,500 going northbound. We're going to be out inbound on the 132 radial for the LAX VOR and outbound on the 323
the next controller will, if you can pass that along to him.
So we have the LAX VOR in there, and on our nav 1 here, we're going to go, it's the 132 radial. About 132 right there. That's the reciprocal. So I want to be flying to the 313 radial, which is a reciprocal of the
Cherokee 370 contact.
No, 123.
SoCal approach 125.2.
The 123 radial is right there. So it's the
was that for
303 radial.
Archer, yes, Archer 370.
That we're going to fly inbound.
SoCal approach 125.2.
And then just make a slight little turn to the right once we get there. And then let's see if we're on the right.
Sky 4 Victor Yankee, turn left, direct San Marcos.
Yeah, so we're looking, we're okay.
Turn left, direct San
heading
Marcos.
Towards the entrance of this. So I just put John Wayne in there to have a starting point, but we're going to intercept that radial as it comes off. So Space Face, happy Friday, man. All right, Jeff, have a good one, man. Thank you so much, sir. Jonathan, happy little Friday. Thank you for the bits, man. I don't know how I missed that. Did I not hear the little notification? But thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Happy little Friday, everybody.
Vision Jet 77, Charlie Mike, contact Santa Barbara Tower.
Why are we going so slow is my next question.
19.7, thanks for your help. Good night, 7 Charlie Mike.
This is the area that I fly a lot. My friend Chad and I came right up here over this valley
53370,
over the weekend.
Los Angeles ATC Information India, altimeter 2990. Expect the visual approach, runway 24 right. If I can get the left side, we'll try and work that in for you.
County.
All right, expect visual for 24 right.
Is there a way to show
ILS,
program radials in 4 flights?
Number 37 Sierra, expecting ILS runway 24 right. If I can
that's
get
a good
ILS
question.
25 left, we'll try and negotiate that as you get closer.
Okay, expect 24 right ILS, 37 Sierra.
Number 37 Sierra, I imagine you're going to the FBO on the south side, correct?
That is correct. Atlantic Aviation,
How do you feel about giving me a
Cherokee 37 Sierra, roger. Plan ILS 24 right, we'll try and work on the 25 left for you.
Okay, expect 24 right, 37
What's up, Red? Can I get like 2 fingers?
Number 48 Alpha Foxtrot, contact SoCal approach 119.6.
Order 119.6,
Yeah.
48 Alpha Foxtrot.
Number 107 Juliet, the Palomar altimeter 2990.
You haven't done anything? You did? Oh, you never went to get food? Will you say hi? Yeah, you
SoCal approach, Skyhawk over 48 Alpha Foxtrot at 500 feet.
Speak up.
Scott 48 Alpha Foxtrot, SoCal approach, Palomar altimeter 2990, and ATIS information Sierra is current.
2990, ATIS, 48 Alpha Foxtrot.
Approach 737 Delta Delta, we got direct popper. We'd like to know what's next step.
Number 737 Delta, I'm sorry, say again.
It is a mess.
We were direct popper. Was that going to be as filed after popper?
Oh, yeah.
Number 7 Delta Delta, after popper is resume
nice
the flight plan route.
Yeah, roger that, 7 Delta Delta.
Okay. We're forgetting the scotch. The reason why I brought you
Santa
here.
Barbara approach, Skyhawk 4 Victory Yankee.
The messy bun
Santa Maria,
with the
request
scrunchy.
local DME back.
No glasses, though.
Alpha.
Sky 450 Yankee, clear the Rex San Marcos, cross San Marcos at about 6,000. Clear the VOR DME back course Alpha approach.
Want to say hi to Anthony?
At or above 6,000, cleared for the localizer DME back course Alpha approach. I'd also like to practice a missed approach at that airport. Thanks. 4 Victory Yankee.
Scott 450 Yankee, I'll pass.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to. That's why you should say hi to him. What? What are we gonna eat? We have no food. We have no food. We're heading to Burbank. I'm gonna firewall it. Yeah. Yeah, let's get something from that Mexican place. Like one of those bowls. Mexican bowl and a brisk walk. Pretty much. All the cross country flying. We have no food. We have no food. Hence my flat out refusal for getting A20s. What? Is it a true molcajete? The hell? Do you plan on getting your complex? Well, yeah, the complex for sure, and multi, yes. Yeah. So yes to both of those. But yeah, the complex is...
Scott 7 Delta Delta, contact SoCal approach 134.2.
High performance complex is easy.
134.2, 7 Delta Delta.
Archer 37 Sierra, contact SoCal approach 128.5.
Once the Bonanza is done with the annual, we will have
approach 737 Delta Delta level 4,000.
I'm gonna get my high performance complex in the
Number 737 Delta Delta SoCal approach altimeter 2989. You can expect that.
The plan is commercial multi.
SoCal approach, Archer 5337 Sierra level at 5,000.
Commercial multi is the goal.
Roger 5337 Sierra SoCal approach altimeter 2990. Plan ILS 25 left.
A long airway.
25 left ILS 37 Sierra.
TBN 107 Juliet, contact SoCal approach 119.6.
Actually, you know what? John Wayne would not send me over here. This is the danger zone. Yes. Yeah. No joke. Like, my plan is to be Brad's SIC.
Roger, 370 after Santa Monica, heading 070, back to the final approach course.
Yeah, well, yeah, commercial single with multi-add.
After Santa Monica, heading 070, vectors to final approach course, 370.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to be part-time SIC.
Final approach course, 7 Nova Delta.
SoCal November 107, Juliet, level 14,000 information, kilo.
I resisted it, Adoned, but...
107, Juliet, SoCal approach. Thanks for a kilo. I'll pivot to 2992, expect the visual approach.
Brad did, Julia did. They're like, you're gonna do it. You're gonna just fly jets. Yeah, no, Brad, yeah, no, absolutely. Everything he flies needs an SIC. Yeah. The Mexican Bowl thing, Molcayete, an authentic restaurant. Oh, at an authentic restaurant is going to be a big stone bowl filled with meat veg. Okay. Yeah, no, it's more just like a
Sky 48 after Foxtrot. Radar service terminated. Squawk VFR. Palomar Towers 118.6. Have a good night.
Yeah, everything.
Thanks.
Yep.
Over to VFR.
Per aircraft. Yeah. No, per aircraft for sure.
Sky, November 53176. I'm sorry. Say again. Type aircraft.
SoCal, we're at Charlie 172 Slant Gulf, Skyhawk 53176.
Number 53176. Isn't that call sign a Cherokee?
Negative. 53176 is a Skyhawk. 83364 is a Cherokee.
Oh, completely different set of numbers. No wonder why I got it mixed up. Skyhawk 53176, proceed to the Vincent Thomas Bridge. I have one handoff and then a clearance for you.
All right, we'll go straight to Vincent Thomas, and we'll look for that handoff, Skyhawk 53176. No, yeah, he flies the Citation 5 Bravo XL,
Ramona, and descend to maintain 8,000.
and those all need SICs. Yup. So it's going to be a lot. I hope that the IFR one is the, I don't want to say trickiest, but like the, I don't know. Yeah, it should be fine. It's however long any of them takes, it's fine. You know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long it takes. Yeah, Drew. Well, I mean, it's absolutely, man. It's one way or another.
Number 53176, contact approach 124.9. Sorry, 134.9, 34.9. See you later.
All right, 34.9, Skyhawk 53176. See ya. SoCal approach, Skyhawk 53176, 6,500, coastal route northbound.
Sky 53176, SoCal approach, altimeter 2990, cleared into the LA Bravo airspace via the coastal route, maintain 6,500 while on the Bravo.
Cleared into the Bravo, maintain 6,500, Skyhawk 53176.
Skyhawk 7, Delta, descend and maintain.
Yeah, it's a small jet, but it's, you know, it's still a
364 Romeo Mike, contact Los Angeles Center 124.
Still needs an SIC.
85.
Yeah, it still needs an SIC. I don't even pretend to know. Alexander, I am in my early 30s. We'll go with that. Yeah, it's... I don't pretend to know the requirements on those type ratings and, you know, single pilot versus dual pilot, but for the operations that they do, they are definitely needs a SIC. They can be flown, like it's possible to fly them single pilot technically, but yeah, and again, I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be a company thing, but I don't think it is. I don't think.
Number 364.
I was wondering if I still have time to hop in all the ratings and things to do something commercially. you know, I don't. The thing that I think is
Sky 7 Delta Delta
giving me the confidence to just continue to go in my 30s is that I love doing this so much that I don't really look at it as
CBM 07 Juliet descend and maintain 4,000.
Necessarily a career. Like I have a career that I'm working on in parallel with this that I hope will continue with this, but to like supplement, like basically what I'm trying to do is become a financial advisor. I work for a financial advisory firm right now, and I'm working towards being a financial advisor. Do that part-time and fly professionally part-time, but focus the financial advising business on the aviation industry and be able to use not only the commercial, you know, the actual commercial flying to build relationships, but also use general aviation to conduct business as well. So that's like my ultimate goal and plan to help make that happen. I don't, you know, who knows what will end up what I'll actually be able to pull off. You know, it's conceivable that one or the other just happens and takes off
Juliet, contact Ramona Tower,
takes away time for the other.
1987.
But either way, I'm still going to pursue as many, still pursue as much as I can, continuing my training, my flight training. So we'll see. I don't know. It could be a complete disaster, but I have no idea.
050.
Bravo 550 is a 2-pilot airplane without a single pilot waiver, so it does require SIC. You don't have the waiver. Okay.
Archer 370.
I don't mean to kiss your ass, but someone like you is inspiring just a normal guy, not a hotshot working towards their ratings.
7 Delta Delta 5 miles from
Well, Drew, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that.
3,300 established on a localizer cleared hours from
that means a lot, man.
050, maintain.
When did you initially start your training?
Approach 737 Delta Delta.
Sky 7 Delta Delta, contact Burbank Tower, 118.7, 90.
90.
118.7, good night, 737 Delta Delta.
My first Discovery flight was October 2017. My second Discovery flight at John Wayne was April 2018. We were in the middle of a move. I moved in... I left my job in October 2017 and then moved to SoCal. Moved back down to Orange County in November 2017. So April, we got kind of settled, and we took that. I took that Discovery flight there, and then my first actual lesson was June 2018. That was my first flight lesson. Was June 2018. October 5th was the first Discovery flight, and then April 14th, and then June 16th. Was the first actual lesson, and I have almost every single minute of every flight that I've done, every training flight that I've done, on video, which I am incredibly thankful to have that. How many hours till you were ready for your flight test for PPL? Ready and actually took are two different answers. My first GA flight was riding in a purple RV-8. Yikes, dude. That's awesome. Before I was ready for my check ride, I don't know. I mean, Brad was hoping that I was going to be a 40-hour PPL. But it didn't. We had some issues with the insurance for the plane that I ended up finishing with, which is this plane. So I there was like months and months that we didn't do anything. So I ended up actually taking my test at about 60. I was more or less ready around 40. So we kind of flew around for 20 hours. I was pretty quick on a lot of aspects of it. Most of which I probably, looking back, wouldn't recommend. I didn't have ground school. I didn't have any. I had a written test prep boot camp through M0A, but I didn't take a ground class. I did everything was self. Self, not taught, but self-learning, I guess. With Brad, with the stream, with other people. So that made it a little bit exciting, I guess. But yeah, I was pretty quick. I soloed
traffic
under 6 hours out of John Wayne, and I did my solo cross country John Wayne to Camarillo and back at 12 hours. Coltrane, happy little Friday.
Here, traffic 11 o'clock and 2.5 miles north.
Was my DPE nice? Yeah, he was nice. Yeah, I text with him every once in a while.
Archer 370, Roger. Thank you.
Yeah, under 6 hours. I think honestly the cross country. I did the special flight rules and coastal route with 12 hours. Which, seems almost ridiculous to do, but I had done it so many times in PilotEdge that when I did it, my instructor was like, "Dude, just freaking do it." Like, I don't, whatever. It was pretty apparent, I think, from like the first flight I took with him. My instructor was new to the area, and with all the experience that I had from PilotEdge, I was teaching him stuff about the airspace. So, when he's basically learning things about the airspace, as we're doing training flights, he was just like, "Yeah, dude, this is like, what do you want to do? Let's go." No, we're not. Like, Ramona was the flight school's usual cross country. He's like, "Dude, I'm not going to send you to Ramona. Let's go to Camarillo. I haven't been to Camarillo yet. Let's just do it."
Voice 710, Los Angeles Center. Good evening.
I'm at 27 hours pre-solo, signed off. Just been waiting 6 months so far for medical. Hopefully come soon. Nice, Dave. Dude, that's awesome, man. Dude, you're gonna freaking love that solo.
Alaska 6, the center maintain, Father 240.
But you know what? I didn't. By the time I got like closer to the PPL check ride, the timing stuff, like being a 40-hour pilot.
Destination ATIS is 135.125.
Nobody cares about that.
Departures, contact, clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading,
no one cares.
Altitude, and if flight following is requested.
I would just kind of like, I don't, part of me.
Short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information in DIA.
Part of me was like, okay, I got the 6-hour solo, I got the 12-hour cross country. Like, I was in a fucking magazine. Like no joke. I don't know if you guys have seen this. And I didn't really.
370, turn right heading.
I didn't really realize it or appreciate it until
turn heading 150.
Kind of like happened, because it didn't seem like it was rushed. It was just like it was ready to go.
124.9er, sorry.
Like, look at this.
124.9er, 370.
Like a full gigantic, like,
Alaska
color
6, contact Los Angeles Center 128.6.
like article in Aviation International News. Like, so I had that in my head, like, holy crap, let's keep, like, I want to, 40 hours, like, solo at 5, cross country at 12, PPL at 40. Let's hit the minimum. Let's just like do it. And then I kind of was just like, what's the point, man? No one's gonna ask me ever. I don't care. You know, those are out. Those are in the past. I've already banked those. So who cares, right? I don't really. You shouldn't rush it. Like it's such a cool experience being a student pilot that towards the end I enjoy. Like I was enjoying.
Maintain 2,500.
I'm a model anyway.
2,500.
I did model in high school. I did actually do a model. I had a modeling job in high school. But I banked those, and at the end I was just like, you know, this is just fun. You know, Brad and I became so close that it was basically just like, let's just fly. Like, I don't really care. Let's not do a flight because it's gonna take up hours and, you know, for, you know, whatever that I don't need. Like, let's just fly, man. It's like, who cares? Yeah, it's super fun, Coltrane. Let's see. Nobody is really a 40-hour PPL unless they're out of a pilot mill, and nor should they be, Ryan. You know, there's so much stuff that you have to do to get to the prep that you almost like that middle, that like 10 to 20 hour, that 10 hours almost. It really depends on where your fundamentals are at. You know, if you're able to land perfectly every time, you know, okay, let's move on to the next thing. But there's just so much stuff that you have to learn, you know, that it's just not, it doesn't do anybody any good to like rush through that just to be at 40 hours. I honestly don't get it. Don't get the allure
Roger,
of
370, 6 miles from Lima, turn right heading 220, maintain 2,500 until established on the localizer cleared ILS, runway 25 left approach.
Turn heading 220.
Yeah, let's just fly. Like, I don't really care.
12 steps on the localizer, cleared for the ILS, 25 left approach, 370.
You know, part of it is too that, you know, Brad and I are just buddies. So it kind of changed it a little bit where, you know, you like we did, like, hey, you want to go to, like, we literally did this. Brad texts me, says, hey, you want to go get dinner at French Valley? And I said yes. We hopped in the plane, we flew to French Valley and came back. It's dual. I didn't have my private let yet. You know, I needed to build up the time and whatever. It didn't do anything. You know, it wasn't like hey, let's go work on short fields or whatever. It was just like, let's just go fly. And, you know, it was obviously always a learning opportunity with Brad, flying with Brad. And in fact, I actually just flew with him for the first time after my PPL in not counting in the Bonanza this past week. And, you know, it was actually kind of fun. It was like seeing your high school teachers, like, coming home from college. You know, you're like, oh wow, you don't always have to be teaching. Want some Chick-fil-A sauce? I have 17 little things in front of me. That sauce is some good sauce. One of my best friend Chad, who you guys will all meet in a video coming up, was just visiting here, and his Spanx. Thank you very much for following.
370, contact LA Town.
His favorite line of mine ever was when we were in high school. We went to an Arby's, and I asked for an offensive amount of Arby's sauce. He still talks about that. He's like, dude, that was so funny. Remember when you went to the Arby's drive-in and you asked for offensive amount of Arby's sauce? We got a whole separate bag full of Arby's sauce. I love hot sauce. I love mustard. I love sauces a lot. Olive oil. Oh my god, olive oil. I'm getting really hungry right now. I did that to someone when I worked at Chick-fil-A. You have to like olive oil if you're Italian. C'è la luna, mezza mare, mamma mia, me mandi dare. Below's internet's fixed. We're back in business.
Cessna 176, leaving Bravo airspace, contact SoCal approach 134.2.
34.2, Skyhawk 53176. Oops. SoCal approach, good evening, Skyhawk 53176, 6500 India at Burbank.
Cessna 53176, SoCal approach, altimeter 29er89er, how you doing?
29er89er doing very well. How are you tonight, Skyhawk 53176?
Groovy. Skyhawk 176, you descend at your discretion.
Descending at our discretion, Skyhawk 53176.
Skyhawk 176, you have a preference for runway you're going to be aiming for?
I kind of like the sound of runway 8, Skyhawk 53176.
Skyhawk 176, roger. Just fly this heading, start your descent, and then join final for runway 8, and I'll have a handoff to town.
Okay, we'll stay this heading, we'll descend, and join the final for runway 8, Skyhawk 53176. Hi! If the moon was cheese, would you eat it then?
Air approach November 688, Romeo.
I know I would.
November 688,
that's
Romeo.
That's probably really bad. That's an impression of an impression.
10,500, just off Banning Airport, about 5 miles to the northwest. Flight following to Burbank.
What is this? What is this?
10,500.
Citation 688, Romeo, squawk 7025, and ident.
7025, 68, Romeo.
That was pretty good. Hi! Harry here. It was like, his bobbling head is super funny. I know I would. Heck, I'd go back for seconds.
Skyhawk 176, contact Burbank Tower 118.7, good night.
18.7, Skyhawk 53176. See ya! $18.7, Skyhawk 53176. See ya!
You're tempting me, Bill.
I know you got it in you, man.
Cherokee 4 Foxtrot Golf, you contact Runway Tower 126.8. Good day. 126.8. See ya.
Okay, see ya. Burbank Tower, good evening. Skyhawk 53176, descending through 5,900 with information India, full stop.
For 53176 Burbank Tower, low crest Van Nuys that are above 3,000, runway 8, clear to land.
Runway 8, clear to land, above 3,000 over Van Nuys, Skyhawk 53176. I think we're pretty safe over Van Nuys here. The moon was made of spare ribs. Would you eat it then? Palmer, we can't do a steep turn. We're on final. You know, but I will. If you remind me, Palmer, I will show you a video of me doing a steep turn, or like shadowing my friend Chad, who is not aviationally inclined, doing a steep turn, and his reaction is pretty funny. I know some good Italian songs for sure. If you want, we could just have like an Italian music karaoke fest. That'd be pretty fun. So it's funny to hear someone say 3 as tree. I know it is. The tree and Fife is really weird. No rapid power change over Van Nuys. You don't want to backfire in the valley, that's for sure.
Over to Santa Barbara, approach 120.5.
Yeah, it's technically correct. It just sounds really weird.
San Diego Tower number Delta 604, holding shore runway 27, ready for departure.
It's very like try-hardy. but yeah. Niner I get. Niner's cool.
So 604 Limburg Tower and 27 cleared for takeoff.
2000 cleared for takeoff.
I love Swiss cheese. Thank you, Head in the Cloud.
Spring clearance, Walker 234 at terminal with information Delta IFR.
I like turtles.
Walker 234, Palm Springs clearance, close the Denver Airport Cathedral 1 departure, Palm Springs in files, maintaining 7,000.
Drew, where are you at?
37010 after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 3515.
Ben, are you going to be able to make it? Are you coming?
Clear to Denver Airport.
Did I know that?
Departure, Palm Springs.
Am I just...
Then as fired, time maintain 7,000, expect
we have you in there, right?
minutes after. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 3515, Walker 234.
Yeah, right, you and your friend Palmer, right? Yeah. Hell. Slight unusual attitude here. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for it too, man. Let's, like, get this thing trimmed out. Yeah. Runway in sight. Yeah, you and Palmer, that's cool.
1 mile final runway 08.
Hey, if anyone's interested in a really cool Instagram post, go check out the Fly Burbank official Instagram page.
Southwest 2103 Las Vegas.
If you want a really cool Instagram post.
19er left via Golf Delta, Southwest 2103.
Gentlemen Tower, pressure 4590 whiskey past midfield downwind.
Delta 6 here for connect departure.
We're coming back to Cali Ford after getting our instrument. Nice, dude. That's
November
really cool.
90 with runway 20 clear
What
for the
is
action.
up with the...
Clear for the option 90.
Oh, the wind. Look at the windsock. I was like, why am I getting shoved off of centerline? It's because I only listened to the identifier of the ATIS and I didn't actually listen to what the winds were doing. And we have a very stiff crosswind. We're going to do the crab and kick.
Los Angeles Tower, Archer 5337 Sierra clear and active on golf.
5337 Sierra taxi Alpha to parking, monitor ground today.
Taxi to parking via Alpha, monitor ground 37 Sierra.
Whoa. C'è la luna, mezzo mare, mamma mia, me manti dare. Burbank Tower, Skyhawk 53176, cleared runway 8 at Delta 7. We're going to Millionaire.
53176, taxi straight out to Millionaire. See you later.
Straight ahead to Millionaire, Skyhawk 53176. We'll see ya.
See ya.
Dude, what was wrong with that? What was wrong with that landing?
Yeah, I try not to leave you hanging like the guy above me.
Dude, SoCal Approach is just, they're not game, dude.
I'll let them know they're very, very disappointed.
Can always count on Burbank, though. That was a pretty hard dude. Dude, that landing was perfect, man. Got the upwind wheel down first. Rolled out by Delta 7. It was awesome. Freaking love it. Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, that's like your opinion, man. Okay, let's lean it up. Okay. Yeah, well, that's also like your opinion, man. Who has seen crap. Superbad. Superbad is one of my favorite movies ever. And actually the last time the first time Julie and I went to Millionaire, we drove and we went to Burbank. The convenience store that McLovin was punched in is really close to here, and we went to go visit that and took a picture in front of it. But every time I hear like something about the flight sim that's like either in the vein of not taking it seriously or doing something wrong in the sim, I always think of the line where he says, "It's soccer, Greg. Okay, it's soccer." Like it's the sim. Okay, it's the sim. Did I not? Yeah, Ryan. The convenience store. People don't forget. That's right. That was like 7 years ago, dude. People don't forget. Yeah, we went to the convenience store, and I took a picture of Julia at the cooler where McLovin grabs the beer out and says, like, you should really clean that up. Sir, did you do this? Yes, Palmer, the steep turn vid. Yes, I will do that. Okay, Drew's coming in. Are you close? People don't forget. That was like 7 years ago, Dick. People don't forget. But yeah, we have stood right where I actually still have a bottle. I have a bottle of like a little tiny. We got a bottle of vodka. Okay, here's what actually happened. Okay, listen to this. We go to that convenience store. It's like one of my favorite movies. I love it so much. So we go on this big drive. It was the weekend before the actual shutdown happened.
Las Vegas Tower, Southwest.
So everything was kind of slowing down. But it wasn't fully shut down yet. So we go on this long drive, and the traffic was dead. And let me undo this. Traffic is dead, and we were able to drive like everywhere. It was awesome. We just drove all over LA, and we get to we would do this thing that we started in college, where we would fly or we would drive to film locations of our favorite TV shows or movies or whatever. So we'd have done this quite a bit, and we wanted to do Superbad. So we get to the Superbad convenience store, and we like take a couple pictures and whatever. We're like, we have to buy something at the Superbad convenience stores. Old enough to what? To party?
Downway Tower, Piper.
So we're at the convenience store. We're taking the pictures. We're doing like the touristy thing in the convenience store, and we're like, we have to buy something. We have to get some booze. We have to get some Goldschlick vodka at the convenience store. So we actually bought vodka and 2 vitamin waters, and then like a little vodka. So we got like a what's the size? It's like the little like flask size, and then a mini. Because I wanted to have the mini for like keepsake, and I still have the bottle. So we took the little pint of vodka and the waters, and we went to I can't remember where we went to. We went somewhere. We went to Burbank. We went to Millionaire, and then we poured the vodka in the vitamin waters, and like we're having these cocktails. But this is the this is the place right there. So that's what it looks like now. There's Julia's mini.
Over departure, g'day.
You don't have the steady hand or the technology to pull off a procedure like that. So peace. And then here's Julia standing standing in front of where McLovin pulled the beer out. Right there. What is this? Oh yeah, I took a picture of Ortho mattress because Ortho. And this was the other place. So what is this from? This is the other location that we went to on that trip. Any guess? Yeah, it's my favorite movie too. I listen to that movie in Italian all the time.
7 at Bravo 6, taxi to terminal.
Alaska 6, Bravo to parking this way. Good day.
Yep.
Bravo to parking, Alaska 6.
Good old Pawnee. Yeah, we listened to, or we watched the. Okay.
Right Gyre, November 648, Romeo, correction 688, Romeo, looking for the visual approach to.
Yeah, I watch we watch. I make Julia, of course, watch Superbad in Italian all the time.
Romeo, window 180 at 5. You'd still like Romeo 26, correct?
Captain
68 Romeo.
Liquid.
688
Thank you very much for.
Runway 26, clear to land.
Trust me, I'm like going like.
Clear to land.
What's next?
688 Romeo.
Yeah, we watch Superbad in Italian all the time. Drew, you gotta land runway 8, dude. Yeah, it's super weird being at the Pawnee one was definitely weird. That was strange. Oh, and here's this is a deep cut. If anybody knows what this is, you get major.
I almost could have predicted
major
that. It's like you listened to an above benevolent force. And a right downwind runway 8, clear to land.
Okay, you ready? If you guys get this, major points. Nope. It's not a movie. I'll say that it is not from a movie. This is like major. Whoever gets this, we will become instant best friends. Not GTA. No, it does look like part of GTA. Arnold, it's what this location is from. Arnold, we're best friends. Arnold and I are now best friends. I love it, Arnold. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. Nope, not a movie. Dude, so I might actually go fly with Ren in the Piper at some point, which would be super cool. Julia and I, mainly me, but Julia as well, are like completely obsessed with their channel. Like we've watched. That was our quarantine. Every lunch during quarantine when we were both working at home, we would have lunch and then watch like 2 or 3 Corridor Crew videos every single day. And then we met Nico at the studio when we went there, and then I've talked to Nick Ocalario? Yes. Did I say that right? Ocalario? Ocalario? Let me put this here. So this is the Discord server, and this will help you out a lot. If you're looking to learn PilotEdge or air traffic control communication, I highly recommend joining the Discord. It's a great resource, but honestly, and I really mean this. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll probably be streaming a little bit this weekend. Julia's going to be out of town, so I will probably be on this weekend. Watch this stream and other streamers that stream specifically on PilotEdge, because it is all about repetition and practice, just like Captain Liquid said. I learned I downloaded Live ATC on my phone. It's like a $3 app. It's so worth it. And I would, instead of listening to podcasts, I would listen to the radio all day long. I would just listen. I'd pick my airport. I would listen to liveatc.net on the app, and I would just listen. And if I ever had any questions, I would watch a stream, and I would ask questions like, "Hey, I heard this on the radio. What does that mean?" And people would answer, and I'd get. And that was before like I had my Discord, and before I was really streaming a whole lot. So. Captain Liquid, it's so helpful, because it's just about listening and understanding. Whoa. Nice, Drew. Okay, well, you hit the numbers, man. Oh, I love that. That's so funny. YouTube recommended. Oh yeah, my first flight on PilotEdge was just a disaster. But like, you have to, and that's the great thing about PilotEdge is, you have that like the ability to make mistakes without it really affecting the real airspace, So, you just have to try it. You just have to do it. I got my license in the UK, and moving to the US, it was different world in ATC, way more relaxed, which made it hard for me. So I used Live ATC over and over again. Yeah, that's awesome.
Let me guess, you're going to Millionaire.
That is correct. 688 Romeo.
8 Romeo cross, 15 at Delta Millionaire. Good day.
First 15 at Delta and 15 or take Delta Millionaire. 688 Romeo.
Well done, Drew. Well done, Drew. No, I'm sure it looked good on your screen for sure. But you just have to put yourself in that situation to make mistakes. Clario, that is a mouthful, man. Thank you for joining the Discord, as well as Brick Rhymes. Thank you for joining as well. Yeah, so our sceneries are a little bit different, Drew. That's why it looked like that. So yeah, it's just repetition and asking questions, because there's a lot of stuff that you hear that ends up being not the best way to say certain things. So just asking questions, confirming stuff is a great way to do it. I said switch to departure without asking. Oh yeah, dude, it was just a total mess. Excuse my ripping into a donut on the Discord for you new members. It is the lounge after all. Okay, here is the steep turn, right? I promised a steep turn with Chad. Okay, you guys will appreciate this. So I gave
strip of buildings out there.
All right, let me shut down. I'm gonna get PilotEdge disconnected here.
Disconnected.
Yeah, but that's like the below. That's as you know, you have to start from somewhere. And I didn't know what I didn't know. And it takes a lot for certain people to just like jump into that environment and be willing to make those mistakes, because it can be, it is intimidating, when you're first learning, and especially when you're you put yourself on an island, not having somebody there live telling you what to say and when to say it.
Bill's one of my favorite guys to yell at.
Oh, he had so much patience. Him and Marcus, and that was where, PilotEdge can be an intimidating place, because the controllers do get frustrated if you come in there just not knowing what the hell you're doing. They do get frustrated because they're dealing with not only you don't know what you're doing, but they're also dealing with pilots that do know what they're doing and trying to have an immersive, solid flight, whether they're practicing for their instrument rating or they're doing a commercial flight. And they still have to maintain the professionalism and deal with you at the same time. And it's difficult. It's a tough balancing act for them. But they can tell, they know when somebody is genuine and genuinely trying to learn. And I think that's what they saw when I first connected. And the very first flight, and I don't know if this is the same one that you saw below, but the very first flight I went on, I didn't know. I tried to study to a point where I was comfortable loading up on PilotEdge and doing that first flight. But I didn't really, it hadn't occurred to me, or it wasn't presented to me, that I needed to call clearance. Okay, so then it is this flight below. I call Goldsy, who I'm now friends with, that I am departing for pattern work or something. It was like a local flight. I think I did a local flight. And I didn't know that I needed a clearance. So I call up ground, and Goldsy again was very patient. Yeah, okay, so it was Dana Point. Yes, exactly. So I was replicating my discovery flight, and I didn't know you had to call up ground or call up clearance to get a clearance to depart a Class Charlie airport. So I learned that, and I had a piece of paper next to me, thankfully, where I was able to write down the clearance that he said, and I was like amazed, like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually wrote down the clearance in time. So it was like trial by fire, and if you have the desire to really, really do it and really go for it, nothing will get in your way, even a controller on PilotEdge yelling at you. And trust me, I had PilotEdge controllers yell at me.
Taxi on your merry way, and if I need you, I will contact you.
What is that one?
For Foxtrot Golf, you can save your breath. You've already got your landing clearance. Once you get your landing clearance, no need.
I had a controller say, "Save your breath." You can save your breath. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm fucking best friends with that guy now. Like, you just have to stick with it. So there are ways to get to a point where you're able to jump into an environment, whether it's real world or VATSIM or PilotEdge, and be functional, but you're still going to have to learn. I'm still learning. There's stuff that I still learn, when I go up for a flight in the real world, how to say things. Below, I actually recently watched it, like within the last month or so. It's hard to watch, dude. It's really hard to watch. There's a few of those, even like pre-PilotEdge, where it's just, I just had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. I had been in a plane for 1 hour before that, and it's so recent in my mind, and since I do have it on video and can go back and watch it, I think I tend to be extra forgiving of those that I hear on PilotEdge that are struggling. It's funny to kind of tease them a little bit here and there, but ultimately there's it's just it's too recent in my mind. Like I remember what it was like, and I guess that's the long-winded answer of how you learn ATC communication. It just takes a lot of practice and dedication. It's like learning a language. You got to just stick with it. It's going to be tough. You're going to not know what words are. You're going to be confused, ask questions, watch movies, listen to music. You just have to immerse yourself in it. That's what I did. I just immersed myself into it. That's how I learned as much Italian as I know, as I immersed myself in movies and music. I listened to just endless Italian music, and when I would hear a word that I could remember in a song, I would look up the definition of it and go, okay, that means this, and I would know that. So if you listen to liveatc.net all the time and you hear phrases that happen all the time, you look up what that phrase means, now you're going to know how to do it. Yeah, I mean, I just downloaded a bunch of Italian songs and movies, and I just endlessly watched it. That's it. Yeah, of course. No, man, it's one of my favorite subjects and topics. So in the Discord, don't hesitate to ask questions. We'll help you in any way we can. It's very difficult. I mean, it is like learning another language. It reminded me exactly of learning when I was learning Italian. And I don't know that much Italian. It's not like I'm fluent in Italian or anything, but I learned from scratch, and you just kind of have to brute force your way through it a little bit. So